They've woken up in the morning and they drive down here, and I could just imagine what's going through their head on the bus, like, oh, we're about to go on a field trip. And once they hit the Southern Sierra, which is in the foothills of Springville, I feel like it's a life-changing thing.
When that bus pulls through the gate and I climb up the steps of the bus and look down those rows and I see 50 or 60 kids, all excited, all happy, ready to jump off that bus, that's a big moment for me.
Being able to hear what you're learning about, being able to see what you're learning about, being able to touch, being able to communicate about it. It's also about being here, being in the outdoors, being able to get their hands dirty and see the birds and hear the chirping and hear the river, and it's an entire sensory experience for them.
So we're standing alongside the North Fork of the Tule River, which has 3 forks, north, middle, and south. This fork is probably the second largest of the 3. It comes out of a bowl of about 8,000 to 10,000 foot mountains that are full of snow right now, gradually melting, adding to the river volume. More importantly, the snow is seeping into the ground up there so that there will be groundwater and river water available into the summer. And that's set within a much bigger watershed of the Southern Sierra Nevada. So part of our Trout in the Classroom program obviously is children come here after having raised trout in the classroom, and they're going to release them into the river.
Well, outdoor education is much more hands-on than you get in a usual classroom. Instead of just learning about an ecosystem, for example, in a textbook, which is a very abstract thing, they can go out and experience it firsthand for themselves, and suddenly it makes a lot more sense because they're seeing the actual thing instead of just reading about it.
WildPlaces' mission is to get kids outdoors, and then also to connect them to their local watershed. I think that's like the 2 most important aspects of this program. A lot of kids don't know that they live in a watershed. Plain and simple. I mean, I think you could ask a lot of adults and they wouldn't know that.
You could experience different things that you never experienced before. You could see trout, see different trees, different plants.
You learn about them also. You learn a lot of things about them.
When we started to develop the new curriculum for Trout in the Classroom, we did several things. First thing we went is to the state of California curriculum guidelines as to what should be taught in various grades, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Secondly, we called upon professional educators from the Science Conservation Camp, or SciCon, Tulare County. We sat down at the table with them with members of WildPlaces and AmeriCorps. We brought in Fish and Game, and we basically swept everything off the table and said, what would we like to see students experience, students learn, students take home with them from a day on the ranch?
It's incredibly important that there are more programs like Trout in the Classroom, not only in California, but across the United States. We need conservation properties like this to be used as a means for educating kids about all the opportunities they have to interact with this world.
They're more likely to suggest to their parents, hey, let's go out for a drive or out along the river instead of let's sit home and watch TV or play video games. And you can really tell those students and those parents who do get out. They're not only healthier, but they're more vibrant, more excited about life. And that I like to see.